All right. Good morning, everybody. It's currently 8:20 here in Whittier. Uh, we're playing Railroader today. This is a new game. Um, it's like a beta test right now. So anyway, so I played around with it a little bit yesterday, and I just played in sandbox mode for a few minutes, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool stuff in it. Um, I then decided to go into like the career mode where you have to, make money and, spend it wisely. And so that's kind of where I'm at. Um I am working through the tutorial, however, the spot your first car tutorial right here seems to not have worked out very well. Um I got stuck somewhere, but I'm pretty sure I followed everything to a T, and then I looked up some Reddit posts that said, this is an issue that other people are having, and um, I kind of just decided at this point, if I went back, I tried moving the cars around a little bit, nothing really came of it. So uh, that being the case, I don't know. I'm just gonna move on to something else, and here's my thought process is like maybe eventually this tutorial will, it'll tick all the boxes, or it'll tick the box, and then it'll work, it'll be good, and then won't have to worry about it. So that's kind of what my plan is right now. It is currently 8:20. It's only been 2.5 hours since 6 o'clock when the interchange came in, so we were able to quickly get 3 customers spotted between Whittier and Ela. And that being the case, I'm going to go ahead and do another run here with the passenger car, and that is going to also allow me to go up to Ela, where I'm going to try to respot uh, the farm bureau, the farm cars to the farm supply at Ela, to see if maybe that'll work. One of the suggestions was to push the cars all the way to the bumper, so we're going to do that. No, number 2 is the one that's running right now. Number 1 is undergoing repairs, I believe. What are we doing here? Well, we haven't gotten to there quite yet, and I'm not going to worry about number 1. So number 2 is our engine that we're going to use. Um, so one of the cool things about Railroader is the different driving modes. This is something for me that I really like so far. Uh, so there's 4 driving modes. You got manual, which is basically like your simulation mode where you run all the controls independently. You got road mode, which is sort of like just you move the slider around, the train adjusts its speed accordingly. And the yard mode is where you kind of work like a conductor, and you call the car lengths out, and the train just kind of follows your orders. And then waypoint, where you click a specific you click a Pacific. You click a Pacific point on the track, and it will go to that point, which I've actually utilized all of these modes in various ways. I think the most effective modes do seem to be like the waypoint, the road, and the manual. The yard mode would probably be better if you're, sorting cars out. But okay, so let's get this number 2. Let's get this number 2 out onto the yard lead here. I did just add coal and move it back there, but we're going to go ahead and call him back out to the yard lead, and then we're going to run down, grab that coach car. We're going to do a passenger run again. That way we can maybe get up to Ela there, and maybe get that car respotted at Ela, and hopefully that'll fix it. The waypoints you can click, I can click the waypoint right here now, and it'll find a path to come back and tie onto this car, which is super awesome. Um, so while he's doing that, we can see here. So we did our first interchange. We got a total of 5 cars. I did 3 contracts, and those 3 contracts are, if you're not familiar, with your customers, you have either customers that are contracted or customers that are compulsory, which is, you know, customers that don't have a actual industry track of their own. So they go to like a house track. In this case, we have 3 contracted customers right now. I don't remember them off the top of my head here, but I could quickly go over to the locations key here, I think, and tell you which ones they were. We have Holyfield Heating Oil. We have the Stenzel Manufacturing, and then the one we're going to go deal with today is Ela Farm Supply. We'll see if we can get maybe that car moved around and get the tutorial box ticked off here. That would be fantastic. So anyway, we're tied on. One of the things that seems to be a requirement manually every time is this hooking up of the air hose and whatnot. So we got that done there. Let me just see how we look on this other side here. It's kind of hidden in here. Nope, gotta open that angle cock up. That air spewing out means it's open at this end. Yeah, close that off. And then we can just get this handbrake released. So we'll run up to the Whittier depot. There's like 2 parts of Whittier, this part right here. And then if you go all the way over here, got the, like, I don't know, Whittier proper right over here. I want to bring my train right up to here. Let's see. There we go. Slow it down just a tad bit. I'm gonna come right up here and pick myself up. Actually. Thank you. And now we're on board and can keep her moving. So, come on inside here. I think the thing is, like, when you play Train Simulator so much, when you play Train Simulator so much, you kind of stop, like, being so ultra focused on the, like, driving aspect of Train Simulator, and you start, you want to do other things and all that. So, either building routes or what other like activities you can do inside the games. In this case, I can kind of just do like whatever I want as, like, I don't know, I kind of view myself in this as sort of like the manager, just kind of telling people where to go, and then they're doing the actual work. So I can do stuff like this, which is just sit on the rear end of a coach car and look out the back, and it's kind of enjoyable. So I don't know, I can jump between different things, which is really nice. So if you're like me and you got that ADHD, you can definitely have a lot of fun with this game. It's obviously very much a period game. It's super, like, early 1900s kind of like that style, but it's still really cool. It's like, in its own unique way, it kind of is. It's kind of like taking a lot of the best of, like, the other train simulators and combining them, because you've got a lot of different, like, activities you can do. There is multiplayer set for it already, which is great. Other than, like, maybe building, like, tracks and all that, everything else is pretty much, like, you can do basically every aspect of the railroad, like every job aspect in the railroad, which is great. Now, if my freaking tutorials would work, I do believe you get to a point where you start learning how to do repairs and all that. Again, like I'm saying, I'm hoping that my plan here to go back to Ela and get the farm supply car respotted, maybe that'll tick the box off. It certainly did not work for Stenzel Manufacturing, which was like the first official customer that I spotted, but I don't know. Maybe the next step would just be to maybe like read off what's going on. Like, I think this right here, that's like a branch line that goes up to a different, it's got a name, but I can't remember what it was, but it's a branch line that goes up there. When you first start in this like career mode, you are basically a small little railroad it's like 100 miles some map altogether, but you're locked out of certain sections when you first start. So like the east end is run by like the Atlantic Railroad, and they're the ones that are like bringing you all of your cars. And the storyline is there's Stenzel right there, and then here we are. Stenzel Manufacturing right there, and then you start off with this like small section that you have to manage. Something that the Atlantic Railroad in this storyline has given up. They no longer care about. They don't want it. They've relinquished control over to, in my case, you can name the railroad whatever you want. They decided to name it for me. It's the Northwestern Lines, which I went with. That's not bad. I'll take it. Let me see. I need to go to this agent window. Yeah, so 45. Good. That's a lot. And then I go over here to inspect, I believe. Passenger, and then I'll say Ela. And then they start loading up, like, pretty much immediately. You don't see people inside the coach cars just yet, but with the level of care that has been put into this game, I do think eventually you're going to see that. Like, the graphics are pretty awesome with this. And, okay, and then something I would really love to see is just some automobiles going up and down the road. Like, I mean, it's old-timey, so, like, yeah, there's not going to be a whole lot of automobiles, but just a couple would be kind of cool. That would just kind of add a little bit of life to the scene. This is obviously still a game in development, and they're pretty clear about that too. Because I mean, this is like a pretty like full on like functional game at this point, but you know they're clear that it's still a work in progress. So yeah, you get this like small little section to start out in, and you have to manage it, make some money, and you use that money to I guess upgrade your equipment and whatnot, buy more equipment. You know, there's rail cars that are going to come to you that are not yours. They're coming from other railroads, and you're basically just spotting them. Like the ones over like Stenzel, SAL and MEC. So that's Main Central and Seaboard Airline. So those are two other like cars owned by other railroads. But eventually, you might own some of your own equipment, and that's also super great. That way, you can make more money. Anyway, I think they're probably loaded. Let me see. I should probably just... Yeah, we got the 45 passengers. We're good to go. These passenger services, I hear, are not really big, not very profitable, but good for your railroad's reputation. So, I want the Northwestern lines to, sort of have a good reputation. And so we're going to, make sure that we sort of follow that and follow what they're telling us to do, and go ahead and go into road mode here. Maybe you have seen this line from the cab, but I don't know. It's quite nice to just look at it from this angle. It's like 10 minutes over to Ela. It's not a very long stretch of track that we're covering here. So then the story goes that the Atlantic Railway ran this section of line and gave it up to the Northwestern lines, but the bridge at Ela is out of service. So we can only go that far right now, and I don't really know what goes on the other side of the bridge, but, you know, I have to say, like, for the railroad wanting to give up this section of railroad, like, it looks in really good shape. Like, I've seen a lot worse. I think one of the things that, like, train simulator games sort of haven't gotten to the point yet, which is like the jointed rail, where like the tracks are a little like wonky looking. Other than, you know, railing line, which is kind of working on that. You know, I think that would be a really cool way of like kind of adding to the like interest in the game, or just another like really cool aspect is make it where the track is, you're rocking back and forth over jointed rail. You sure as heck wouldn't be doing 30, that's for sure. There's the 1900s. You might be doing that. I don't know. I mean, turn this to like the 1970s era. Like, give me an old Penn Central line with the jointed rail and all that. That would be pretty cool. And I think that would be really cool in this format, like Railroaders format, you know, just to like an industrial, like city area, which I'm sure will come eventually, because this isn't the only thing we're going to be working on. Shoot, I'd love to help with that, if I could. But yeah, this is relaxing. I do, like, okay, so like when you're playing a simulator game or whatever you're doing, you know, you're being able to... You want to be able to just kind of relax a little bit, and I feel like you can really do that in this game. Man. Okay, so I've done this trip now 3 times? This is number 4. So, okay, so I've done this trip like going on 4 times now, and I will say, like, this scenery does not get old. It is really pretty looking. This here is supposed to be a really tight curve, so I believe 30 was like the maximum amount of speed that you can take it at. Anything above that, you're going to be kind of pushing it. So I've been kind of working on that. The assumption that you should probably only do about 30 on this line, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't take that long to get to Ela, so not a big deal. Check our map out, see how close we're getting. Yeah, so that was a tight curve right there. And then coming up to Ela, right over here, we'll go right on into the end of the siding. I actually think I want to stay on the main, so we'll click that button there, close this out. Oh, hold on. Keep it open maybe. Just move that right on over there. Man, like, okay, so it's like 8:40 in the morning right now, and I tell you one thing, like, you get up to this time of the morning during the summer, and you know that humidity is starting to, like, kind of burn off of the burn off a little bit, and I don't know, there's just something about it, and being in the dead of winter right now, it feels great. I can feel it. The summer, the warm air. You know, we're halfway through winter right now. We're getting there slowly but surely. I think that'll cover it. We'll be good. I'm just going to go ahead and jump off, apparently, and injure my ankle. Passengers are supposed to just start, like, disembarking immediately, so I think that should work. We'll see here. Are you going to actually start getting off the train, or do I need to... Yeah, there they go. Okay. Took them a second, but they're going. So, like, that helped us make a little bit of money. It's like not a whole, it's like $25, maybe $30 is what we're going to make on this run. And then the real purpose of this entire move was just to come up here and try to mess around with those box cars over at, Farm Supply to see if I can get them to maybe tick that tutorial box off there, because I don't know what to do at this point. Like, if the tutorial doesn't like want to go, then my next option I think would be to just wait till the next interchange the following day, and maybe in the process of moving those cars around, maybe it'll tick off that box eventually. Or I don't know, maybe I'll have to like pull up like a written tutorial and go with a written tutorial from here on out, because like I feel like I kind of have the game down to a certain extent. Okay, well, the passengers are gone. We're gonna go into waypoint. No, I think waypoint's gonna work the best. Yeah, so like I was at 33, we're up to 76, so it made us like what, $40 to do that. I want to pull this passenger car up. I'm gonna keep it on the main track just because, generally speaking, the main track's your better track, and you don't want your coach car to be... let's see, I'm going to go right up to the crossing here. You don't want your coach car to derail. That's not a good thing. So, good rule of thumb, keep your coach car on the main. You run your locomotive through the runaround track. What I'm going to do is, while I'm in the process of running around this coach car, I'm going to... you going to blow your whistle? No? No. That was good. I like that. This waypoint tool is really, really helpful. Oh, let's see. Let's go do the handbrake real quick. Okay. We're going to do that. I'm going to bring the waypoint over to here. Come to this spot for now. Oops. And then we'll pull the knuckle of the... There you go. Now you're good to go. Perfect. We'll take some time here. It'll be quiet in just a moment, so we'll close the angle cock and then we'll walk on over here. Jump over the ditch. Open you up. Okay, so we got the angle cock rerouted around the right way. Go ahead and get this switch. See, it's kind of like an old-timey conductor job where you're the guy, bossing everyone else around. You got brakemen and firemen and engineers and all that, so you're you can kind of do your thing here, and that's kind of how I ran the freight run that I did that was not recorded, because I don't record things as much as I should. Is he okay? Is he coming back already? Wow, that was quick. Oh, goodness gracious. You went up to... No, don't come that fast. Like, I want you to come. That's really fast. 35 is pushing it. Get the switches lined up. Okay, bring it up to like right here. And once that happens, we'll get the switch line and we'll ride back into the industry track and see if we can get that tutorial box to click off, and then can move on to other fun and interesting activities. Thank you. All right, so there's no way to climb up here, and so I don't think you're supposed to, but I don't know. I've been climbing up on it. Probably supposed to go through the cab. I don't know. Fine. Okay. Go there. Do your thing. All right. So now, yeah, I get why you might not want to ride on there. If you couple onto something, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be falling forward. But it's a game. It's not reality. So, you know. All right, so let's see what we can do with this. Now, I've learned something in this game is you can't actually move cars with the handbrakes on. So, I've got to take the handbrakes off now. That's not the reality of it. You could, in real life, move a car around with a handbrake. In fact, I know many people that do that all the time. Let's see here. So I'm going to go into manual mode. I want to see if maybe this will help it. So forward, release the brakes. Let's see what we can do here. Zero clue what's going to be the thing to make this work, but we're going to try different things, I guess. I don't know, can I go all the way? Well, like, okay, like it bumps it. Okay, cool. So, still nothing yet. No, I want that on. I want to keep that on. So, like, what am I supposed to split these things apart or something? I'm running out of ideas here, folks. Let's see. So, if I try decoupling from it, see what happens. That handbrake back on, and then we will reverse directions here. Okay. So yeah, like that was supposed to do it per Reddit, but I don't think that's going to work. So I don't think that's going to do the thing that I need it to do, and it's also not helpful because can they even get to these cars now? I guess you see. I guess they still can. So yeah, they can still get to the cars. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if these were the wrong? This was the wrong customer, but it does look like it's good. It's just that's just stuff I think about. Status. So it says that status is completed. So let's see. Using the tab overlay or the inspector window, find the waybill destination for the cars. Add interchange, which would be the best to spot first. Which side of the cars does your engine need to be on? Yep, we know about all that stuff. Keep in mind that there are a number of places to do a runaround if needed. The yard may not be the best place. Yes, we were already there. So spot your first customer car. The overlay tag will dim when it is in the right place, which it did, because I can click tab and I can see that it's dim. The car's tooltip. The car's tooltip will change to reflect the new status, and you'll be paid for the delivery, which I was. And it still did not matter, apparently. What a pain in the butt. But that's why it's still a work in progress. And I'm sure they'll find a way to fix that, which I think the easiest solution might be just for you to check the box off yourself and say, hey, I did it. You know, because I mean, like, if you want to lie to the tutorial and say you did something you didn't do, like, it's it's on you at that point. Like, who cares? So, climb up into the cab. This is the first time I think I've been in the cab here for a bit. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and let's go ahead back out. There we go. That's a better spot. Whoa. Okay, don't zoom too much because that'll mess everything up. Can I, like, go all the way? Like, you have a door here. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, there's a door. I can walk right out onto the platform here. Can I see? All right, cool. All right. I want to see if this waypoint tool will, if the train can navigate all of these switches. Like, good luck making that happen in, like, TRS, but in this game, I feel like it might just work. Yeah, it did. It likes it, so cool. That's great. So the mission wasn't completely successful because we weren't able to make this thing happen, but I don't know. So my next step at this point is going to be to just move on to the next day's interchange. Let the train stop whistling there. All right, so is to move on to the next day's interchange, and then from there we can, let's see. I guess I shouldn't, like, be boring with this. I should make it seem interesting enough. I'm gonna hit myself on the way back. So my plan, I guess, from here on is going to be to make it so that, like, I'll wait for the 6 o'clock interchange tomorrow. At that point, I'll probably have some of those cars to remove from their spot tracks. And again, hoping that maybe eventually that little tutorial box will tick off and then I can go to the next one. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to see if I can find like a written out tutorial that I can just read so that I can, keep moving along with the learning process here. It's a fun game. I do want to keep, like, I want to get as much out of it as I can. So we did ourselves a favor by rerouting the Anglecocks already, so that makes that a lot easier. And then now we can go ahead and hop back on. And we will just go right back on up to the platform so we can pick up passengers for Whittier. Nope, we have the right direction there. I still need to get rid of the handbrake, which it's on the other side here. So seats are not looking very comfortable. Like even like a school bus seat feels like it would be a lot nicer. There. All right, we're here again. And then, I'm just going to jump off again. Okay, where's the agent window? Oh, can I? Okay. And then, yeah, so 38 people for Whittier. And then I go over to inspect. Passenger, Whittier. All right, and then they start loading up. Yeah, they're already getting on board, so that's great. Okay, so got the passengers on board now. 38 total, which is pretty great. We're gonna go ahead and head back to Whittier. No, we need to be in reverse because we're going, yeah, tender first, and then we can start going. I have to say, like, one of the things that I hope they work on is the sound. So, sound is very loud, but even if you're on the back platform of, coach car or whatever it is, you can hear the engine pretty loud. Like, there was no changes on, like, open and close the door, just stuff like that. Like, you can kind of feel like you're still like right in the path when you're not. So that's, I'm sure, something they'll work on eventually. But just the tidbit there. So yeah, here we are going back to Whittier now, and have I been saying that right? Like, what if I've just been pronouncing all these names wrong all this time? I don't think I am yet. Whittier, it has to be. It has to be Whittier. And there's Conway Creek, which we haven't really touched on. There's a bunch of stuff up there. It looks like all logging things up there. What are my milestones? Let's see. I gotta repair a track. So these are like all the things diesel fueling stand. Track soda. So there's a bunch of things that like you can do, I guess. So these are things that I could do when I have the money, which money obviously is not rolling very easily. Different pieces of equipment, financing, or to get a loan. If you always do a loan, then yeah, I feel like that might be helpful. Brings, I don't know, do employees, that's what I'm looking for here, so I got different things. Different thingies to think about. I have a reputation that's 110% overall, which that seems a little. Should your reputation go over 100%? Can something go over 100%? Who knows? We live in interesting times. 2 points are compiled at 6 p.m. Well, it's only 9 o'clock. I feel like, okay, so here's the thing. I feel like there's been, it's only 9, so it's only been 3 hours since interchange, and in 3 hours I have now made like passenger run, I've done a freight run, I've gone back and like done a bunch of actual, like spotty type work to try to make things happen, and so just all together it just feels like come back into Whittier now. Oh, I'm sorry, I overreacted. We're not at the station just yet. We're coming up to the station though. So like a lot has happened in only 3 hours. I'd say that's probably good right there. And then block traffic for a few minutes. Passengers should start getting off. We have 38 right now, so we'll just see how that number starts to drop here. Okay, yeah, so they're starting to go. I can't really tell if that's like from the sun. It's got to be glare from the sun, right? Because the Northwestern just looks a little like weird. Like there's some, yeah, that's got to be just glow from the sun, I think. Yeah, that's what that is. That's cool. That's interesting how they do that. It's just like you come all the way over here, and the N and the O are a little bit more like lighter than the gold on the other side there. So yeah, because that's normal on this side. So that's just a sunlight issue, I think. Which is kind of cool. Like the way the sun glares off of everything is really cool. And when you like get really close to like the car, you can see, or the tender, you can see like there's this sort of sooty type coating on it, so it doesn't look super smooth, which is really great. If you just when you do that, you can really tell. Like they put a lot of TLC into these locomotives. We should be out of passengers now, which we are. Like, I don't know. Do you just keep running? Like, let's see. Like, could I just keep going back and forth and like making money here? It looks like 45 passengers are already waiting to go. Like, is that what you do all day? Just run back and forth now and collect? Like, I guess you could. But anyway, we're gonna do a fly over here. Go back over to the fly mode to get back over to the yard. because I want to just get that coach car right back up to where it was. Let's see here. I kicked that caboose over into that track yesterday, so like when I come back up, I probably want to go all the way down here, and I want to shove back in. So we'll set a waypoint to like right here. Yeah, that should work. So it looks like it's already coming that way. And then that gives me a little bit of time to like kind of figure out what we're going to do. So the plan right now is just going to be to put this coach car back on top of the caboose, and then we'll shove everything back into like over here into this track. Maybe we'll consolidate the tracks all together. Yeah, I could come back and just into this track right here with the where the coal hopper sits. That's a good idea. We'll just get that way. That way we can make sure I have a clear track to do runarounds in. And yeah, you know what? That's what we're gonna do. The track next to it is the interchange track, and you can tell by going over to locations. And then if you find the track that you want, like Whittier, East Whittier interchange, if you hover, let's see, I should be able to put that up there. If you just like hover, it's going to tell you what interchange tracks are. So I can grab that and I can go ahead and put the cars back up there just like that. So I'd like to just kind of keep using the closest track to the main as the interchange track. And then the other track I'd like to use mostly as a, that'll just be the storage track for now, since we're just a little tiny railroad with not a whole lot going on. Don't even have this lumber yard operating just yet. We'll have to get that going next. It's in another tutorial, I'm sure, that I can't get to because we're stuck on the spot your first car one. Here comes the train. Should be able to like toggle my first person mode right here. Yeah, just like that. All right, so let's set a new waypoint to right over here. Yeah, so click there, and then go there, Control T, so I can stand next to the car, and we can use this opportunity to get everything routed properly with the air, since he's coming back our way. It's good. And then we'll shove this thing all into the siding track. Be done with it. Well, actually, first we'll go grab that coal hopper. Then we will shove everything into the siding track. Because that's a short runaround right there. I think that'll be a nice little spot to do these moves, because you do a lot of runaround moves in this game. I think that should have released the handbrake. It's confusing when it says apply when you click it. but I believe it's the opposite. It just means that's what you can do with it. So yeah, we can apply it now if we wanted to. We're going to go ahead and set a new waypoint. Can I do that from here? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that should work. Yeah, so this is a short runaround, and that'll make things nice when we have to do like future moves, but at least everything will be in one track, so that'll be helpful. So we'll just tie this thing right on to the hopper. Perfect. Oops, no, it didn't work. There we go. When I was setting up my railroad, the name for Northwestern was the name they kind of like just auto-generated for me. And the initials were, I think, NW. And I'm like, well, that doesn't work very well. So we went with NWL just to make sure we're clear. This isn't the Norfolk and Western. And then we can go ahead and we'll apply the handbrake here just because we're standing here. As a courtesy, we can get that all hooked up. And then go over here, put the air. Let's see. Okay, we're good there. So that is the first. Oh, we're doing that's weird stuff right there. Let me climb up. So that's the first like look at Railroader for myself, and yeah. So we're stuck on the tutorial. Not cool, but hopefully in the next video we are able to get to the interchange track, get some more inbound freight to switch out, and maybe in that process we can get that tutorial to work. But I don't know. We're having trouble, and I don't know. It might be a dumb idea to. It might be a dumb idea to get too far ahead when I haven't gotten the last tutorials to work. But I don't know. This is all I can think to do now because I feel like I've exhausted all of the like suggestions that were made available, and it is a known glitch. So I don't know. We'll just have to see, I guess. Anyway, until next time, I will see you all later, and have a good one. Bye.